Bruh, this is so mesmerizing, y'all. That's a Mario flower, by the way. Like one of the flowers in Mario. Like the fire flowers that be spitting like y'all ever think about sticking your thing in that? What did he say? What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing well today. Welcome back to another Phasmophobia video. Boy, you looking mighty fine today. I just wanted to say that. Love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for all the support. We're back with a tarot card video. Y'all already know I got y'all with the timestamps. If y'all want to skip to a specific part for the tarot cards, it'll all be down there. It'll all be laid out. I tried to do as much explaining as I could. Some things are down to chance. I tried to go through every tarot card to get an example of what all the tarot cards do, like in the game. But you know, sometimes you get unlucky. One in particular we didn't get. I could still explain what it does and all that. I know it's been a little bit since the last upload, but you know, some really traumatic things have been happening. I'm sure y'all understand. Hopefully y'all enjoy this little series. Y'all stay safe out there. Keep that head up and keep being you. Don't forget to stroke that like button just like you stroke you. There's a lot of tarot cards to talk about. I think we're just gonna go in order from left to right, left to right. Before we get into the tarot cards, for the newer players, you know, if you're a more experienced player and know all this already, there's going to be timestamps so you can skip through it. What are tarot cards? If you're a newcomer, because you know it's coming to crossplay soon, it's coming to console. If you're new to the update and you want to know what all the cursed objects are, well, tarot cards are one of the 7 unique cursed objects in Phasmophobia. What are cursed objects? They are objects in the game that you can pick up and you can interact with, and sometimes they can help you and sometimes they won't be so helpful. It really depends on how they feel, and some of them do a lot more than other ones, and I think tarot cards is the one that it does a lot more than some of the other cursed objects. We will be doing a series on all the other cursed objects, by the way. If you want to stick around for that, make sure you hit that sub button and make sure to slap your own ass. Now you're getting into the game and you're like, well, how do I even get the tarot cards? Where do they spawn at? If you didn't know, on every map, each cursed object has a set spawn location on every single map in the game. Don't worry, doggy, I got you. I'm gonna show you where all the tarot cards spawn on every single map. If you want to skip through it, like I said, there's timestamps down below. If you don't know where any of the cursed objects are on any of the maps, or if you're looking for a certain map, I'm about to show y'all right here where all the locations are. We do a little fun little game where on some of them we pull a card just to see what we get. I'll see you back in a little bit. The Fool, it's a dud card. It's a dud card. If you pull the Fool, you'll pull one of these 10 cards. It'll say that's what the card is at first, but then it'll change to purple and then it'll say the Fool. By the way, colors for any of the tarot cards do not matter unless it is the Wheel of Fortune. Those are the only 2 colors that matter. But the Fool is basically a dud card. There's not really much to say about the Fool. You pull Hangman, for example. You think you're about to die, but then it's like, psych. It doesn't do anything as a dud card. Wheel of Fortune. This one's really interesting to talk about. There's pros and cons to this card. First of all, the basics. If you pull Wheel of Fortune and the color is green, it'll give you 25% sanity. If you pull it and the color is red, you lose 25% sanity. Sometimes that could be really helpful or really bad, you know, depending on your experience with the game and how the situation in game is. I'd say a con for the green is obviously you get more sanity, you get more time to get more evidence in the game, and so the ghost won't hunt you as often. To keep it above 50 or whatever ghost you're dealing with, keep it above that sanity threshold. That's a positive. It can also be a negative, like if you're a more experienced player and you want the ghost to hunt and you're trying to pull like a card drain you sanity or something like that so it hunts quicker, that can put up a little roadblock. Onto the red side, whenever it's red, you lose 25% sanity. And there is also, believe it or not, that might sound bad, which in most cases, if you're a new player, it is bad. But, you know, the more you get into the game, the more you'll realize that you can use sanity to your advantage in the game, you know, to try to figure out what ghost it is if you're running no evidence. I have an example I'm going to show here of why it's useful sometimes to lose 25% sanity if you know the game. So basically what happened there, I went in just recording, you know, where the spawn location was in Sunny Meadows with the tarot cards, and I was just pulling cards, just having fun, like just to see what I would get. It gave me red Wheel of Fortune. So I just walked in the building, right? So I had 100% sanity. I was up there. So I lost 25% sanity. The only ghost that can hunt around 70-ish, 75% sanity, there's only 2 ghosts. They're a Fae and a demon. So it was either one of those 2 ghosts. That's the way that it can be helpful. Sometimes you don't want the ghost hunting, and then it can be, that's the negative, obviously, to it. I just thought that was a really cool example of how the negative effects of some cards can actually help you the more you play the game. That's Wheel of Fortune. That's probably one of my favorite cards actually in the set. The Tower. There's one thing quite a few people don't know about this card. This card is really interesting. Most people know that you pull the Tower and the ghost will interact with something. It'll interact with the door, it'll throw an object, it'll touch a keyboard, it'll throw a ball, you know, it'll just interact with whatever, right? It'll knock on a window. A lot of people don't know about this card is not only does the Tower do that, which is useful for finding the ghost room, by the way. Like you pull a card, does the interaction, you'll hear something thrown or a door touch, then you'll know around where the ghost is, right? Where the ghost currently is. But it'll increase the activity the ghost does for 20 seconds. I think that's a thing that a lot of people gloss over, so I thought I'd throw that in there. And do you really notice a difference in activity? Not really. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you definitely do notice an increase in activity after you pull the Tower card, but sometimes you don't. It's really just down to chance, right? But the description of the Tower increased the activity of the ghost for 20 seconds after it interacts. The Devil. It'll pull up a random ghost event, whether that's the air ball, you know, the standing ghost that's humming or doing whatever, or the ghost that's actually running towards you. This has positives as well, believe it or not. You can pull this card and it'll be an easy ghost picture, right? You can get free ghost picture from pulling the Devil card. If it's, you know, the standing ghost or a ghost that's coming at you or something, you can quickly pull out your camera and just snap a picture of it. But the bad thing about the Devil card is it's a ghost event. Say you got the airball ghost event, for example, and you see the airball coming towards you and it touches you, you lose sanity, right? And that goes for any other ghost event as well. If the ghost is walking at you and touches you, you lose sanity. But the ghost has to touch you to lose sanity. If it does a ghost event where it's just standing there and you just like look at it, right, and don't go up to it and don't touch his butt, then you're fine. You won't lose any sanity. It has to touch you. The ghost has to touch you for you to lose sanity during a ghost event. Try your best to stay away from a ghost event if you see an airball coming at you or the ghost walking at you during a ghost event. Try your best to avoid it if you're trying to keep your sanity high. If not, let it touch you. Death. It initiates a hunt. A cursed hunt, to be specific. A cursed hunt is the hunt lasts a very, very long time. That's the con to the card, right? It starts a hunt. It puts you at risk for death. There's a positive to it as well. it's good to figure out what kind of ghost it is off a hunt, and your sanity is still a little bit high, but you want to get a hunt quicker. You can pull it and it'll initiate a hunt. You can figure out what kind of ghost that is. There's actually an example that I got while pulling the card. I'll leave that up. I pulled the death card. The ghost started running at me really fast, you know, and it was normal speed at first. It was normal speed walking at first, and it started running at me really fast, which gave me, it was a gen. If you didn't know what a gen does, it runs at you faster if it has line of sight of you until it reaches a certain distance, and then it slows down again. Only when the breaker is on. If the breaker is off, it will not do that. And the gen will also never flip the breaker. That's another cool thing. Pros, cons to almost every single one of these cards. There's pros and cons. The Hermit. Sometimes it can be really useful if the ghost is roaming a lot, right? And you want the ghost to stay in the ghost room for a little bit. The Hermit is good for that, because what the Hermit does is, if you pull the Hermit, right, it'll be a cyanish color. You pull the Hermit, it'll teleport the ghost back to its ghost room and just lock it there for 1 minute, right? It'll just stay there for a whole minute. And that's particularly useful if you have a really roamy ghost and you're still trying to get evidence. And this also doesn't affect hunts and ghost events. So say you pull a Hermit, it goes back to its ghost room. That doesn't mean it won't hunt, right? It'll still hunt from the ghost room, and it can still do ghost events. It'll go back to its ghost room, and then if it does a ghost event, it can come out of wherever it is, but it'll always go back to his room for 1 minute. If it's like a ghost event, right, it'll come out and it'll go back to his room for the additional time it has left after the ghost event. The Hermit's kind of cool, basically a lockdown mechanic. You know, you can use that with some tier 3 salt and just troll a ghost. Basically, it can't move. The Moon. This one, basically what the Moon does is it gives you 0% sanity. Not really much to say about it. It just, you pull it and it gives you exactly 0% sanity. Be careful with that. Do what you will with that information. It's really useful if you're looking for a hunt. The Sun is the complete opposite of the Moon. It gives you 100% sanity. That's a pretty good one. Another self-explanatory one. These two are like pretty simple to explain. Now, the High Priestess. This is one of my favorite cards. If you pull this card, it'll have a shiny gold color. You basically have a 1-up. Like in Mario, you have an extra life if you're playing solo, right? You pull High Priestess, then if the ghost comes at you and you die, you get revived, right? And if you're playing with a squad, it'll revive the first person that dies, or somebody, if somebody's already dead, you can pull the High Priestess card and it'll revive them. Can set you up for some really cool stuff, right? Like say you have a game mode that doesn't have smudge sticks, and the chances of getting High Priestess is really low. I'm gonna put the chances like beside each card every time I go over one, by the way, like the chances to pull one, like the exact percentage. Don't have smudge sticks in a game mode you're playing, for example, and you happen to pull High Priestess. That is huge, because you can like safely test for a ghost, right? Like during a hunt, and you have a chance to come back alive if you die during the hunt, right? Because you can't smudge it with smudge sticks or anything. So also, High Priestess does not stack. It does not stack. Like say you pull multiple High Priestesses, they don't stack. You can't get revived more than once, right? But say you pull High Priestess and you die during a hunt, right? And the same hunt is still going on. Like if you're playing on a higher difficulty mode or whatever, and it chain hunts, right? Even if it kills somebody, it keeps hunting. You can't die again during that same hunt. It's impossible. So the ghost kills you, you get revived, and then the ghost can't kill you again in the same hunt. So keep that in mind too. That's also pretty useful. Hangman, unfortunately, I didn't get any footage for this one because it did not want to give me Hangman. It did not want to kill me. This game did not want to kill me. Could you believe it? But anyway, what Hangman does is it just kills you. It's that simple. You pull it and you see the hands come across your head and you die. That's what Hangman is. It's that simple. You're just dead. So one of the coolest things you can do with tarot cards though is pull High Priestess. And it's also a blessing and a curse though, right? But it's funny. It's funny, to be more exact. You pull High Priestess and then you pull Hangman. It's so troll, bro. It's so troll. So basically your 1-up didn't matter, but at least you survived because you had High Priestess, right? And it's a funny little situation. That's happened to me once. That's a very rare thing to happen, to get High Priestess and Hangman in one deck. It's super rare, but you know, it's really funny when it happens. Or if you get High Priestess and you get a hunt like death card, and it's the ghost spawns right on top of you, like stuff like that. There's a lot of different little outcomes that can happen with tarot cards. But yeah, that's all the tarot cards, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank y'all so much for watching. We put a lot of work into this video. Hopefully we went over some things that you might not have known, and I hope y'all have a great day. Stay safe out there. Keep that head up. Keep being you. Love y'all so much.